In today's video, we're going to dive into the most overlooked aspects of property investing, gentrification. If you're looking to improve the equity in your property without relying on the market or adding value, this video is for you. I'll be discussing what gentrification is and how to spot it, including the two clear signs of gentrification, which is macro and micro gentrification. I'll also be discussing where to look for gentrification and how it can benefit your property portfolio. So if you're interested in learning more about this simple yet effective way to increase the value of your property, stay tuned and let's get started. But before we get started, remember to hit the subscribe button, tickle the bell notification button because it will help you get notified next time I post a new video. Now, you might be thinking, gentrification sounds like a complicated word that I need a degree in geography to understand, but don't worry. I'll break it down for you in plain English, right? Basically, gentrification is like giving your property a makeover without actually having to lift a finger, you know? It's like going to a luxury spa day, but instead of feeling refreshed, your property value goes up. Sounds right? Sounds good. You know the saying by Warren Buffett, you'll never be truly wealthy until you find a way to make money in your sleep. Well, property investing can definitely fit that bill, but have you ever wondered how to improve the equity in your property without relying on the market or adding value? That's where gentrification comes in. It's like hiring a personal stylist for your property. So let's dive in and talk about two clear signs of gentrification. First, there's macro gentrification, right? This sign can be identified from a locations perspective. That's right, a location perspective. It's usually the inner to middle ring suburbs that were initially overlooked. But now, as prices move out of reach in nearby suburbs, they become more desirable, like the ugly duckling that turns into a beautiful swan. You'll start to see old warehouses or rundown shops in surrounding streets being given a new lease of life. They are transformed into, trendy cafes, microbreweries, or hair salons, or bakeries, and whatnot. And demographics starts to change as well as older retirees or social housing tenants move out. And busy young professionals like us and like yourself who are watching this video move in. And as a result, the average income for the location shifts up, making the area the new place to be. Think of Redfern. Think of that. Next, we have micro gentrification. So micro gentrification. I can't even bloody say the word. Micro gentrification, whatever. As the suburb changes, it becomes evident at the street level the new demographic wants to live in contemporary homes, so they start renovating and rebuilding to match the trendier landscapes. Developers come in and enter the suburb to transform properties into more modern and desirable housing. And as an investor, also as a mortgage broker for over 15 years, I always look for signs of this, like houses being built, looking out for concrete trucks in the area and the new renovations going on. These are positive signs that gentrification is well underway. It's like watching a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. But instead of a butterfly, it's premium property. For example, of micro gentrification is Surrey Hills, Sydney. This neighborhood has undergone a transformation from an industrial area to a trendy and crazy neighborhood, trending like crazy. The influx of new restaurants, cafes, and high-end boutiques has attracted a younger, more affluent demographic, driving up property values and rent prices, And for example, in Melbourne, Fitzroy, once known for its working class roots, I've never been to Fitzroy, but reading about it, Fitzroy has become like a hub for artists, hipsters, and young professionals. The neighborhood has seen a rise in artisanal coffee shops. There's pommy coffee shops, vintage clothing stores, and boutique bars. It's actually contributing to the gentrification process. Look at Ponsonby, Auckland. This suburb has become one of the trendiest and most sought after areas in Auckland, known for its crazy mixed vibes of high-end boutiques, trendy cafes, and vintage shops. Ponsonby's central location and proximity to the city center is, very close, and it's made an attractive destination for young professionals like you and I, and it definitely drives up property prices and rent prices. And all these suburbs provide a glimpse into the micro gentrification process, where a small scale change can have a significant impact on the neighborhood's character and demographic. Other examples of gentrification suburbs in Sydney in the past 10 years that I've seen is Chippendale, from chip on its shoulders to cheaper than ever. Redfern from red hot mess to red carpet ready. Darlinghurst from darling I'm sorry to darling I'm staying. Newtown from no man's land to no brainer. Balmain from balance beam to balancing act of luxury. Now, I'm playing on words, but in these suburbs, old warehouses and rundown shops were transformed into trendy cafes, microbreweries, hair salons, a lot of trendy bakeries. The demographics change as older retirees or social housing tenants moved out, as you can guys see. Probably some of you guys who are watching this YouTube probably live there, right? So if you manage to find this type of suburbs, your property will grow in value if you tend to buy in those gentrifying suburbs. Firstly, we see demand rising once an area starts gentrifying because it's still considered relatively affordable, but it's becoming unaffordable soon, and the livability and choices available are also a big draw card. It's like the new hot spot town. Everyone wants to be seen there. Think about Alexandra about 10 years ago. Now it's like the grounds. Let's go to the grounds for brunch. So the question you guys will probably ask when watching this video is, where do you look for gentrification? So the best place to start is often overlooked in I would say inner to middle ring suburbs in established locations of our capital cities. Like, for example, I can think of, because I live around South Sydney, Merrickville, where the hipsters have taken over and only coffee you can find is like artisanal and overpriced. Or Tempe and Walleye Creek, where, houses used to be so old and run down, you needed like a tetanus shot just to walk past them. But now they're all decked out in the latest designer finishes, because it's next door to IKEA. There should be a shortage or scarcity of available land, and also avoid the outer suburbs and newer land developments where land is freely available. For example, those areas like Orange Park or like Leppington, stay away from them if you're looking for gentrified places. So in summary, gentrification can be a simple way to force the value of your property up without substantial time and effort. So look for inner to middle ring suburbs in established locations with a shortage of land, and monitor the street for changes like new boutique shops, cafes, and an upgrade to tiered and old lifestyle precincts. So houses being bought or either knocked over or rebuilt to a premium level is also a positive sign. Keep an eye out on income levels in the area, because after all, you want to live in a neighborhood where the average salary can pay for a decent bottle of wine. Gentrification might be the right for you. So what do you guys think about gentrification? Have you experienced its benefit in your property portfolio? Let me know in the comments below. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit the subscribe button and tick on that bell notification button. If you're ever feeling down, just remember there's always someone out there gentrifying a neighborhood and making you feel better about your life choices. See ya.